more or nothing.
Hello and welcome to this week's very special episode of More or Nothing, bursting with superstars. We'll have All Black wing Caleb Clarke taking us through that epic match between New Zealand and Ireland, and none other than Wallaby fullback Tom Wright for those incredible Twickenham moments between Australia and England. We're with Ryan and Max as always. It's just great to see you boys. How are we? How was the week?
I'm gonna do the YouTube thing straight away because you've not done it. Make sure if you're listening to this and watching it on YouTube, you've got to click like. That helps us, and comment. We love comments, so like and subscribe and comment and do it all, because then it just excels us and then everything goes better.
Oh, and our social media team responds as well. Like there's been a lot of conversation. I don't know if you've seen, guys, on there, a lot of questions, people liking things going on. There's been a lot of comments. A lot of people commenting about my cousin Ronnie Chung and how he's funny and I'm not, and what happened in the family and why the genes got diluted, which was fabulous.
That's funny. See, that's funny, but that wasn't you. Hold on, before we go any further, happy birthday, Mark.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Thanks, guys.
Is it still your birthday there, or is it gone?
No longer. It's now 2 a.m.
Oh, God, we're late. No,
oh, God bless you. I'm sorry. I was like, where's the run sheet, you useless prick? You know, oh, sorry, I missed out for my birthday.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
it was his birthday. Yeah.
We're out of order. I mean, if you were here, we would have celebrated with you. But happy birthday. How old are you?
Oh, well, a lady never tells. And a presenter can't, because then I'll lose my jobs. Okay, so
bullshit. Hold on. Okay, let us guess. Max, go. How old do you reckon Mark is?
44. Am I off?
Mate, I think that's miles off, isn't it?
No, I'm close. I'm within a few years there.
I'm going to go 42.
Max is closer, yeah.
Yeah, I am closer.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, enough about me and my age.
Your young
and now,
skin. Your young,
yeah, and my faultless, beautiful Asiatic Chinese skin.
Yeah.
We could have got a. By the way, there's a company that wanted to maybe sponsor us that could give us. They do like. Is it cosmetic surgery, I think? I don't know what that is, but they could have given us Botox for a laugh. And I was like, that's a great idea. So I started making up these ideas, Max, of we should all go and get shitloads of Botox put in. And Mark was like, there is no chance I would be doing that. Look at me. I'm like an 18-year-old. My skin.
Yeah, he is aging like a vampire.
He is. But I reckon it'd be a good laugh. Just blow ourselves up with Botox for a laugh. Anyway, sorry. Weird segue.
Weird segue. Let's go. Max, your week. Sort of a little bit of an international match.
Yeah,
Friday night.
Played Australia, right? We drew 10-0. It was 10-0, sorry. Drew 10-0. Yeah, 10-0. It was a showstopper. It was a bit sloppy, but mate, we should have won, but there was no TMO. I'm pretty sure my boy Harry Thacker got the ball over for a more, but it was called back. Sadly, we lost the game, but man, they were hissing off the line. Lads, it was a game of tin hats. My God, there was a Angus Blythe, the 4, massive, monstrous, Sasquatch-sized human, just hissing onto the ball at pace, fasten on your bayonets.
You don't need it.
Tin hat. It was
you don't need it.
But then the weekend was quite pleasant, just leisurely, took my time, mended myself. And this week I have the week off. And I'm just going to, I'll see what happens.
Mark, think of those boys' mindset, right? They're over here on a tour and they're like, oh, I want to play in an international match. So they get an opportunity. And think of Max, I just want a week off, boys. That's all I want. All I want is a week off. Like, here we go, boys. Like, absolutely no puggy whatsoever. Literally, I reckon if you could sort of label it like Bristol, just fueled off of caffeine gum because everyone's so not up for it. But, hey, it's what an experience. What an experience. No TMO. How good.
Everything was out.
Yes, look where his mind goes straight away.
Some of them needed like subtitles. They were so Queensland. It was mental. I was like,
yeah.
He's not speaking English. He's speaking Australian.
Forrest, oh mate, Forrest, go.
Yeah, that's how an Aussie plays. I was like this. Oh god, here we go.
Oh, yuck. No, you don't need that, but well done, Max, for getting through it. And at least you've got a week off where you're DIYing. The hair looks quite tight. You know, a little trim as well.
Oh, yes, a little orchestration of the follicles, Just take care of the massage.
Bro, you're not cultivating that. You need to let it go. Turn around, show me the mullet.
Oh, yeah, I know. He keeps cutting too much off.
Just tell him don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Because I just tidied up, boss. I'm like, brother.
Have either of you ever had your nostrils waxed?
Yes, very good.
I haven't. I've never had it done.
And I'm telling you, it's crucial.
See, and how weird is this? This is how weird my mind is, right? The other day I was like, I really want to get my nose, like the nostril, because they're getting a bit out there. I mean,
They
like
pull it
45. But how weird is this? I was like, I should hold off because it'd be funny for an episode if the boys wax my nostrils for me.
Oh, mate.
That's what you think it is.
Yeah. Weird, eh? So I was like, I'll hold off and we'll do it together.
Yeah.
Back, sack, cracks, and nostrils.
No, not that. I'll do the nostrils for you, not the other stuff.
Oh, here's an idea for you, and the listeners get involved. No. Listeners get involved. We're going to try and get together over the next few weeks. That's the plan, to get together in person. Mark is going to come over from Singapore, stop living this lovely life, mate. Putting up reels of pina coladas and stuff. I know it's your birthday, but like you're taking the mick now. But what we should do is we should have sack, because back's not that bad, right? So we should go nostrils, sack and crack, and we draw our hat who gets what waxed, and we all have to do it.
Oh no! And then you'll end up like tearing off someone's testicle or something.
I bet Mark doesn't even have testicle hair or arse hair.
Vasectomy by waxing through.
Why are we here? Why are we here? How did we get here?
Mine took us here. That's why. Mark.
But what a great idea. So if you think it's a good idea, make sure you drop it in the comments or give us some other ideas of weird things we can do. But that's a great shout. I'm up for it. Anyway, I've been playing a bit of golf, like and subscribe. Boys, it's on. I've been loving it.
You're like Jamie Roberts now with his book.
And he'd bring it up with every single thing.
Why is every fucking... Yeah, I suppose that is basically my version of a book, isn't it? Why everyone's dropping a book at the moment. Danny Care's out there on the TV, just keeps talking about it. Bigger's out there, dropping it everywhere. Sexton's moaning about his. It's like, fucking hold on a minute.
It's the time of self-promotion, inflated egos, social media. This is what it's all about.
I reckon if I wrote a book, I'd go to prison.
Pardon?
Well, don't tell us why. Wait till we're off air. But
anyway, moving on briefly. TNT at the weekend for the big game, the biggest game of the weekend, Scotland, South Africa. We'll get onto that in a minute. But yeah, it's been boys. I've learnt a lesson. I'm not just tucking into the free hospitality after every match. I woke up quite fresh today. After the game was yesterday, it was a good match.
Sir, sorry, sir. Can I just interrupt? How is the European Champions Cup launch on this week on Monday that you got absolutely obliterated at? Sitting there like all saintly.
I forgot that. Yeah, that was like 4 days ago, wasn't it? We did. I forgot I even did that. Premier Sports Champions Cup launch. Lovely. They've roped him in, haven't they? Oh, big
Archer Street.
Yeah, no, wait, I'm talking about the lineup. Bayfield, Galalio, Topsy Ojo, brilliant. And ended up in Archer Street.
Oh, did you? Mate, that's a hell of a group.
They weren't all in Archer Street. It might have just been me, but
just Wilson on his own.
No, they weren't in Archer Street. There's a good crew, and I'm looking forward to it. Champions Cup, exciting times. I'm going to be on the opening game, like I told you, and I'm going to be down at Max's. So looking forward to it, boys. Looking forward to it. But let's talk autumn tests. Where are we going?
Well, I think this is actually the perfect time to bring in our star, who's just waiting. Let's hear not from you guys, but let's hear from Caleb Clarke now. Well, we are delighted to be joined by All Black star Caleb Clarke. He scores every other game when he plays for the Kiwis. He's gone to Dublin. He's won. He's won in England. He's beaten everybody. How are we feeling, Caleb?
G'day everyone. Thank you so much for having me on. And feeling good. Still a bit sore from the game against Ireland, but it's just an honour to be here.
Oh, sore from the Guinness you had after. You must have had, let's be honest, because all the chat was about the pints of Guinness that Geordie was pulling in the week. He only nipped down the pub to see a mate, didn't he? It wasn't like he was kicking the arse out of it.
I'll just tell you guys, but I love Guinness, and that chance we had a team. I had a little visit to the Guinness factory. And I have to say, after one, because I told myself I'll have one, I had a few more. I'll just say that.
Mate, isn't it? We always talk about it on air. Like we've talked about it before on air. We got in trouble, actually. We got sponsored by Guinness, and apparently we weren't allowed to talk about how much we loved it and how much we loved drinking it. It was backwards. But it tastes different over there, right? Like, I don't know what it's like in New Zealand, but it is the cream of the crop.
It was divine, and I just went I hate this now, because everywhere else I'll go and have a Guinness. If I do, I'm gonna hate it, because this is it. I'm here. This is where it is. This is the as you said, cream of the crop. So
Mother's milk, they call it.
The domage and the stickage is optimal.
The domage. Nothing like it. I know we've got to talk about rugby, Mark. Let's go.
No, Caleb, I know I love that you got the taste as well of the Guinness. Just one. Well, just a couple. 3 or 4 can't hurt. But in any case, Friday night in Dublin, baying crowd of Irishmen. As we've been talking about, a lot of Guinness swilling around. In some respects, the epic World Cup quarterfinal revenge match. How did it feel for you being out there?
Well, man, firstly, Aviva Stadium was unreal. Walking out, I looked around. I was like, damn, this is hissing. But then on top of that, just the atmosphere that the crowd created. I was cracking up, and all the penalty kicks, there was heaps in that first half. They were really quiet for Ireland, and I was just like, make some noise, because you guys do it bloody for DVAC. It was so cool, and to get that win as well was also special. It was my first time playing in Ireland and getting a win, but just for a lot of us, I think a lot of the boys, that was the first win they've had in Ireland. So it was real special.
I don't know about you boys, but see Friday nights for me, international footy on a Friday night.
Oh.
There's something special about it. I was even buzzing after finished up on Friday. I'm like, oh, hold on, we've got the rugby on tonight. It's so good, eh?
Yeah, and as well as that, the prep throughout the week changes as well, and it becomes a hybrid week. And as one of the players who was a bit battered and shattered after a game, I didn't mind that so much. Easy training Monday, day off Tuesday, one hit session on Wednesday, and then you're just getting ready for the game. So it was real cool.
And then you get a weekend off as well. That's the more important thing. You get a weekend off, so you can enjoy a few pints of the black stuff on a Friday night after the game.
Oh, I think because we had such a big schedule, didn't have too much planned, but it was cool to let loose or let the hair down for a little bit. There was a few of us who were having kava in one of the rooms, and so just a good time celebrating, being around everyone.
Oh, okay. Here we go. The grog. Who was in the grog ceremony? Sevu Rees?
Sevu was the one leading it.
Georgie Bauer?
Oh, man. If Gio was here, he would have been.
Definitely would have been.
But there was a Suaalii Moore, Tamaiti Williams, Ethan the Group, myself. Tamati Ellison dropped in for a bit. And then, Artie, Mark. So it was cool. It was a good time.
Oh, I love a bit of grog.
Bit of the grog.
Oh, you get it.
Caleb, let's talk a bit about the game. Obviously, there's been a lot of chatter around how, and we think it's a bit unfair, but New Zealand perhaps underperformed a little bit in the Rugby Championship, more with those defeats to South Africa and Argentina. As we said, bit harsh. The game in itself, though, it felt more comfortable watching it than the scoreline suggests.
Yeah, in a way. I think nowadays, or especially now in the recent few weeks, we've really learned our game and really made it our own. And I think that's a big credit to the coaches where, we're trusting in the systems. We know what works. We know how we want to attack. We know how we want to defend. So coming up against a strong Irish side, we just had to back, our own blows and get ready for what we want to throw out. So, we know how dangerous Ireland can be. And, they had a few drop balls, which isn't normally like them. But I think we were just backing ourselves out there on the field and backing each other.
even when Ireland were ahead on the hour mark, did you feel, were those the vibes on the pitch? Like, no alarm bells, it's all good?
No, everyone was pretty calm, to be fair. Like our leaders were leading real well. I said to Scott or Scooter, I was just like, bro, when you started that little niggle, that got me going, eh? Like I was like getting up for it, and that was so early in the game, and I think that sort of set the tone where, our leader saw something happen to our first drive, and he goes, "Nah, I'm not letting that slide." He went in, and then I was just like, everyone jumped in as well. I was like, "This is on, we're on, boys, we're going." So I think just from then, it just built, and even when they were ahead, we were still calm. Even when Geordie was in the bin, we knew what we wanted to do. The coaches had a plan, and just executed as best we could.
You always knew there was going to be that niggle, though. There was always going to be like,
How much of that though was the narrative going into this game? Like obviously with the controversy surrounding Rieko Ioane and Johnny Sexton, you guys knocking them out in where they were potential favourites for the World Cup. Was there a bit of hostility? Was there any sledging? What was the emotional focus during the week for that? Was there a little bit more on the line here?
I guess everyone would have seen it differently from their point of view. As a team, we didn't really make it a priority where no one was really showing clips or showing stuff of what people said. Seeing a comment saying the All Blacks are scared of Ireland, other people would have looked at it. I saw it and was just like, what? Like, you're not in that. But just like things like that. And so the whole narrative where Reeks and Johnny, that was pretty cool, to be fair. I was like, this is on. But again, we weren't making it such a priority. It wasn't high on the list. We just wanted to go out there and play our style of rugby and play to our potential. So yeah.
How do you decide who leads the Haka? The reason I'm asking is because that photo of him with the tongue out, Ricky, and then put that in your book. You're like, how is that? That is worked out perfectly. I don't know if you've seen the picture, Mark, but it is incredible. Rieko just leading it. Like, how does it work out? How did you get to lead the Haka?
I think it's done by experience. So boys that are out there who've led it before. I think at first it comes down to we look for the Māori boys step forward first. And then it goes by the ones that have had the most caps. So, I think after TJ and Cody were out, I think the perfect person to lead it was Reeks.
Yeah, too right. In all senses. All senses, not just the Māori, not just the caps. It's like, go on, son, forward you go.
So, man, when Reeks started, I'm not normally I don't do a pukana, but I'm pretty sure I let one slip out, and I was just like,
yes. Oh mate, I was even buzzing for it. Like Joe Marler, shove that up your ass, because there's no one on earth you should ever get rid of that. It's awesome.
It was pretty funny. It was good times, and I know for Reeks it was real special for him to lead it, special for him and his family as well. So. Hopefully he does it again. Probably not, but that's all right.
Wait, they're talking about Reece though, because we've seen the lovely Juliet, who sort of makes sure the comms is all good, was in the house just a minute ago. She must be having a nightmare because all that stuff's happened. And then afterwards, how quickly was Rieko then going to stick that in the book? You're like, don't post that.
He was like 2 lockers down from me, and I remember taking photos for him. Like it was of him and Geordie just in the locker room, and then the next thing I see is him post his post to everyone's seen. I was just like, how long have you had that in your head? Like that captain, how long have you been waiting to use that? But it's just one of those special things in rugby. Is just you get those stories. I see people sledging Johnny Sexton, but my own personal story with him. I remember them coming in 2022 to New Zealand. They'd won the series. They came into our changing room, and I just went like, oh my gosh, Johnny Sexton just wanted to go shake his hand. He goes, oh, hello, Caleb, how are you? And I was like, oh my gosh, Johnny Sexton knows my name. Like, that's crazy. And then he was going on to say, we were lucky you weren't out there and da-da-da-da-da. But I was just like, man, Johnny Sexton is so nice. Like, how he is on the field. And, it's just the same as Reeks. what people see on the field is not how Reeks always is. He's such a kind and caring person. So he's just the ultimate competitor, and so is Johnny Sexton. So you see the two come together. It comes to a perfect harmony of chaos.
The perfect storm, exactly, and this is what you need. Like everyone's talking about rugby, make sure like it is, and it's what sells the matches, and it's what you want. You want to get these characters out there. You want a little bit of drama in it, and no way should you get rid of that. Football's got so like soccer, if you want to call it that, has got so strict in the like taking all the personality out of footballers. They can't say or do anything. Whereas the beauty about rugby is still got that, and I'm all for it. Keep it going. I just want one word on the bloke on the other side of the field. Max refers to him as the greasy deer. Mark Tele'a. Like, what is going on with that bloke at the moment?
He's just, we call him Mumba because he kind of looks like Kobe Bryant, but two, just how he like goes in and out of defenders or like how he attacks. It's just like people just slip off him and he just slithers into gaps where you don't think he'll get through, but he eventually does. It's crazy to see, but it's inspiring as, on the other side of the field, I get to watch him and be like, I need to do that too. And it's just, he's crazy. And the coolest thing is, like, as awesome as he is on the field, he's just as cool as a person off it. We grew up in the same area in Auckland. And so it's just always proud when I get to see him and run alongside him as well.
Could you just compare the Ireland game to the England game from a sort of All Black perspective?
I think for us, discipline was the biggest thing between the two. We look at England, we had about 13 or so penalties against us. Coming into Ireland, we had only, I think, maybe 6 or under 7. That was the biggest thing, and we wanted to make sure that our discipline was right. We wanted to give clean pictures to the ref, and so that was one thing. And then for us, just making sure we're playing our style of rugby, holding on to the ball and making sure we just get some good go forward. On defense, making sure we're putting them under pressure because we know as an Irish side, once they get going, it's hard to stop. Against England, we were a bit clunky at times. You got to see them attack us and how they got ahead, how they scored as well. But I think the biggest thing, contributed to our discipline.
Which one did you enjoy more?
Probably Ireland, but England is not too far behind because I remember going to charge I didn't go to charge it, but I ran to put pressure on the kick and I turned around. I was just in perfect line with the ball, seeing it shoot off to the right, and I just went, "Oh my gosh, we won, that's it."
You're right, because I suppose if you take it like in the way you beat the Irish and everything built around it, but then it was that the last gasp moment where you think, you've snuck it against England. You boys deserve both. Let's just quickly touch on France before we lose you. Like, this is a massive one coming up. Dupont. Who's dealing with Dupont? Who's talking up Dupont and going after him? Because that man's on another level. Talking about Mark Tele'a, Antoine Dupont at the moment.
He's a special player, Antoine Dupont, and so the first guy to start talking about it was our defensive coach. So he's just making sure we have good plans around him. But again, it's going to take a team effort to beat the French. We look back at playing them last year. I think in one of the meetings we had the score of the game that happened in the first round of the World Cup and seeing how we lost that wasn't a priority, but it's just something to remember and how it felt. So definitely a big grudge match, but at the same time, we're all looking forward to the challenge.
We've had a guy on who comments on some of our videos, and he said that your number 9 forward guard will overtake Antoine Dupont very, very soon. What do you think of that?
Well, I back him. I believe that. I back my mate. I back my mates. I think all our nines. I think starting with TJ sets such a great example for our young nines, Cortez and Cam. All of them have a great running game, strong passing game. So, how old is Antoine Dupont? He's still quite young, eh?
It's not fair.
He's still got a few more years playing, and you saw what he can do: jump to sevens, winner, and come back. So, Cam and all the other boys must have to do that too. But I think their game is building and they're real exciting to watch. So you know what? I'll back the guy that commented. I say, bro, I believe in you because I believe in my mates.
Yes.
Caleb, were you hoping I was going to say that Antoine's like 33 or something? You're like, we only have to see him off for like another year or so, mate. He's 27. You've got plenty of years to take him on.
I was trying to remember if he played that. We played the French in a semi-final for under 20s, and Intermac was playing Romain. He was their first five, so I was just like, I'm pretty sure those guys were playing together. But then I don't know. He's 20-something, 27 or 28.
Oh, because you 27.
I'm 25, but I played the.
You played a few years up. Because I was going to say, yeah, we've got Tom Wright on as well today. He would have been the same 20s, righty?
Tom Wright, I think so. But man, me and Tom have been playing each other for ages, so who knows when we started playing against each other.
Yeah,
he's the man, bro. He's whacked me so many times, and I'm just grateful that he whacks me and then steps maybe into someone else.
Listen, Mark, I don't want to keep him for any longer because we appreciate it. We're sticking to timings because we got the French time. This is us. We got the French timings wrong, but stay off the croissants, big fella, and make sure you get on the vin rouge straight after the game. You got to sample all the delicacies.
I'm not a big drinker, so Guinness was the only thing that I actually really like. But we'll see how we go. Wine's not too bad, and I heard wine's not bad here.
Oh, they dabble.
Yeah, you get the taste. I appreciate it, Caleb. Thank you so much for your time, mate. Good luck for the rest of the tour. And for the rest of the season, mate.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for having me.
A huge thank you there again to Caleb Clarke for taking us through that Friday night in Dublin between the All Blacks and Ireland. But we are in for a heck of a treat, guys. We are treating both ourselves and all our listeners and our viewers of More or Nothing because we are doing the games more or less chronologically. So we've done Friday night. Now let's do the big one on Saturday at Twickenham. We have got Tommy Wright, the Wallaby fullback. We are delighted to be joined by one of the stars of Saturday's victory over England in Wallaby fullback Tom Wright. Thanks for joining, Tom.
That's a very erotic introduction. I appreciate that, fellas. Thanks for having me.
He's an erotic man. Look at those seedy curtains in the background. They always do creep me out, Mark. They always do. Righty, how are you, son? Where are you? I think you're in Wales.
We are in Wales. Rolled in yesterday sort of afternoon. We sort of tried to roll in as the game was on just down the road. So we're 300 metres from the game. Well, it was like either you try to get in right before or you wait till sort of 7 p.m. if there is a downtime in Cardiff. So we got in as the game was on, which was sort of good timing. So we sort of rolled in incognito and then snuck in and sort of settled in the hotel. It was nice.
Oh, a crossover with the Fijians. How bloody good. Tell me you saw some of them.
We've got enough in our team. So I actually roomed with one, Bobby. So he gets up to enough Fijian to fulfill my week at the best of times. So it's good. But I think, I could hear him sort of cheering and yahooing throughout the game, which was pretty cool for a couple of lads.
I know he's not a Fijian, Caleb Clarke, but he was just talking to us about their grog ceremony after beating Ireland. Don't tell me he brings the grog ceremony into your bedroom.
There's a pretty strict set of rules at the door. We limit it to just one Fijian, and he is the one. And then the rest of them wait outside, and we say good morning then at 7 a.m. So he's pretty good. We do all the socialising outside of this room. And once we come in, it is peace and quiet, and it's a sanctuary. So
you've got to have strict rules, mate.
He likes it as much as me. It's a tight ship in here. Otherwise, it gets a bit loose, and then you don't know what time it is.
Oh, good God!
Oh, so good, so good.
Let's crack into an incredible match. Was it, firstly, as enjoyable on the field as it was watching it on our TV screens or from afar?
Yeah, it was. It was very enjoyable. That was probably a fair few guys' first time playing at Twickenham in front of 83,000, like really big occasion. And to win in the fashion we did, it was, not even down to the wire. It was after it, 84 minutes. It's pretty special. I think that was a victory a lot of us will remember for a really, really long time.
Right, hold on. I've got to go straight there. We should be like sort of building into the game, but we've gone straight to the end. did it make it all that more sweet? And was Jamie George shown on the big screen, giving it the old giving it the we nearly lost, and then shove that straight up? Yeah,
I wasn't. Most of us were too busy just celebrating. Honestly, there's been plenty, obviously, said after about all that sort of stuff, and it's hard to not see it, especially in this part of the world. Footy's so big. But as I said, the occasion was so big just for the 15 of us that finished the game out there. And then the bench was on that quick after we scored. And yeah, fuck, it was good.
Max, you look bewildered. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I actually need you to fill me in. What is the narrative?
It's perfect.
Wait. From what I gathered,
Yes.
Jamie has assumed they've won with that.
No,
Hold on, Mark. Go on, carry on, Max.
And then he's given it early celebrations?
He's not. To be fair to him, he's not giving it early celebrations, but Marcus Smith has a penalty. I think it was like a minute ago or something, was it? And he's knocked the penalty over, but it's just scraped inside the post. And the cameras have clocked in on Jamie George, sat on the bench, and he's giving it all like phew, like as if that was close. We nearly didn't. And he was probably talking about just the kick, not the game. I like to make out in my mind that it was about the game because it makes it all that more sweet.
As Will said, does puts a bit of GST on it, as all good podcasters do.
Absolutely.
Just a little extra spice. Hey, listen, and talk to me about the celebrations.
Tele'a Lotto on that. Oh, that was quick. He picked up.
Well, yeah, I'd actually fully missed that one live. I was making a last-ditch attempt at trying to stop it, but it was obviously far too late, and I fully missed it live, so I didn't see any of that until much, much later. As I said, footy's so big over here, it's and even the support back home was like monumentous. Like after the game, like flooding messages. Plenty of people over here supporting us too. But yeah, it was like a bit overwhelming seeing everything after the game. Was a little bit different than what we've seen in the TRC in particular. Obviously, dropped a few games, didn't go our way. But yeah, such a big win.
It's exactly what the Wallabies needed, wasn't it?
It's what the world of rugby needed.
Yeah, 100. It had to happen now.
Let's be honest. Like we've been pretty bad on it. We've got like talking about the Lions tour next year, and people going, "Oh, maybe they should move it, send it to South Africa. It's not going to be a contest anymore." And we were even like, "Oh, worrying about you boys. Like, where's it going?" And then you pull out the bag, and it suddenly just reignites the Lions tour. It starts making Scotland worry about when you head over there. Wales is going to be a breeze. Just like bat them aside this week. I'm not, my word's not yours, Righty. My word's not yours.
Okay.
But suddenly Scotland are going, oh shit. Now we are a bit worried about that game. And like, why did we ever write Australia off? Look at the boys you got in the team. We were just chatting there before you came on. Kerevi not involved. Corambetti. Like, what? Like, mate, you boys are on fire now. This is it. You're gonna dust up the Lions as well next year.
Yeah, that's it. Just flip the narrative entirely. Just rewrite it. No, we're pleased with where we're at. Obviously, as I said, dropping a fair few games there in the TRC. After we got off to a reasonable start in the July series, but by no means, mate, did we jump on the bus down to Cardiff and we're the world beaters all of a sudden. It's we still got a long 3 weeks to go. Like we come over here, and I'm going to pull one straight out of the book and just say we're week to week, but for us as on the flight over, it was a genuine week to week mission for us, and it's going to take. You just named a couple of guys who have performed really well on the world stage over the last few years who didn't participate on the weekend, but the guys who took their opportunity, obviously Sue, as we call him, Suaalii came in and we all knew he could play, but the pressure was there, and he did an awesome job for us. And Lenny moved in one spot, and he did a pretty good job to set up the last try, I dare say. And our pack was instrumental again. Bobby doing his thing, and Belly stood up and got us a lot of go forward. Like there was a whole heap of guys who stood up and did a whole lot of things, but even move in a couple in the 9 and the 10. I know Jake came off and went back on, and Tate had a little dart around and got Wilso a try, and everyone sort of played their part. It wasn't just like we sort of relied on one part of the team. I think that was something that was really, really pleasing for us. Hey, like considering we sort of have fallen in and out of games, and just the way we've lost a few this year. Like we've been sort of in the contest, but fell away at the end, or have been blown away too early to even make the lead back. So, but we still got 3 weeks. Fuck, we still got a long tour ahead of us, and we're by no means put the cue in the rack and say, oh, lines will be easy, as you sort of touched on.
What about Smitty? What's he like? Is he as terrifying as the Irish folklore gives us? Is he
terrifying? Might be an understatement. No, I'm joking. He's Joe's a really good man. He's a really, really good man. Hey, and the staff that he brought in with him, I think, complement him really well too. He's brought a lot of accountability into the way he obviously looks after the attack, and has a real attack focus about the way he coaches, and then he lets the defensive coaches in Lordy and all the stuff that Chrono brings with the forwards in particular. He sort of leaves that to them and has real trust in them. But the balance in our coaching group's really nice, and he has a real good rapport with the boys that he built pretty quickly, considering he was sort of rolled in as Super Rugby started, and then all of a sudden the July series was on us, and with 11 tests into the calendar year, and we're starting to sort of play a little bit of the brand of footy that we like, considering the roller coaster we've been on thus far with our performances anyway.
We're talking about Joe Schmidt and the impact that he's had so far. You've played through, of course, the Eddie Jones era as well. What's the difference, the biggest difference for you?
I wasn't around too long for the Eddie era, and I won't sort of attempt to try and summate what was the 2023 year. It was really disappointing, obviously, for the group by the time the year finished. But I'll just emphasise how well Joe has brought the group together. I feel like he's given the group a lot of confidence in that he's stuck with combinations and really let guys sort of find their feet under the desk, if that's the right sort of term to throw out there. But then, I think we're starting to see, like we sort of probably had a lot of guys played a handful or just, maybe 10 to 15 tests that we're starting to see now with 25 tests to 30 tests under their belt. Me being one of them, like I've, had a little bit more time at the wheel now. Which just gives more confidence. And I think, we're starting to see a lot of those combinations, and guys who sort of came into Test rugby together start to sort of, find their feet, probably is the right term.
So you were alluding to like inexperience in that. Obviously, Sue's come in, as you called him, and he's just taken to it like a duck to water. Did you expect that?
Well, he was fairly good at football before the weekend, I dare say. So it was probably
it's the way that everyone hammered into. He's never even played. He's never seen a rugby ball before. He's never seen one.
Well, that's it. Like, and that's the way it goes. Like, people are absolutely entitled to their opinion, but when a young fella comes into the game with a huge amount of pressure, but has like massive confidence in himself because he believes everything, all the preparation he does is gonna get him ready for the game. And I think that's what all the coaching staff saw on his arrival into camp, and us as teammates around him, and especially in the back line. A player that oozes confidence based off their preparation, and I say that really genuinely for a young guy that goes about his week and prepares like really seriously. Was awesome to see, and then when it translated out there, when he took his opportunity early, I think his first involvement was a kickoff. Regain possession off a kickoff, was an awesome first involvement. Just sort of didn't have to think too much about it. Just does his usual business, gets up, competes, and then we saw some of the other stuff later. Competing for a chip and chase, one hand offload to someone to score.
You were a cross code, weren't you? Right, you played.
Yeah, probably a fair bit removed from his scenario. I played a couple of years under 20s there. And then a handful of NRL games before going down to the Brumbies. But for someone like him, far more established, a full NRL player before coming across and just jumping straight into a test match at Twickenham in front of 83,000. So he's done a fair job. Probably don't compare at all, to be fair, but he did an awesome job. It was pretty incredible.
Hang on, Randy. You were quite modest then. A couple of offloads, and then one of them you were the recipient of both of those NBA style offloads, right? For the try, for your own try, of course, and for the one later on as well. When you were in the moment, were you no surprises? I mean, because obviously when we watched it on telly, it was fucking insane. Basically, it looked incredible.
Yeah, no, I wasn't surprised at all. I, just a little bit reactive there when he's inside. He was outside me a couple of times. A really good voice to have. I think he's just going to thrive from more and more opportunity and more rep during the week. He's probably, let's say, he had a month of football training with us before going out and did what he did. So I'm really looking forward to how he makes the most of his, the next 3 weeks in particular.
What's he like, right? Because obviously, like boys like Len and Tate, and there's some characters in there. What is he like as a person? Has he got thick skin? Because you got to have thick skin to get in amongst you boys. Old Belly, Belly, bless him, like the statesman, and he's just getting absolutely slagged for it.
Yeah, well, Belly's like 25, but gets grilled like a 42-year-old. So
I can imagine him Saturday night, like walking down, like he bumped people, like put Tom Curry.
Yeah, just ask him; he'll let you know how well he played. No, he was.
And it's like, Belly, stop being so good, you wanky guy, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's Belly hasn't changed much over the years, except just getting like slightly bit better at football all the time. It's pretty incredible, considering the setbacks he's had. To be fair, and I won't wrap him too often, but he was big for us on the weekend, and I think he's really coming into his own in the Test arena too.
But what about Sue? What's he like as a person?
He was very reserved when he came in. Was sort of just like observant. Probably is a lack of a better term if I can find one, but he's starting to really warm up, and the boys slowly pick away at him just to see like where what sort of line they can get to before the horns might come out.
Let's see where we can get it.
Well, yeah, like that's how it goes.
A couple of schooners in him. Have you put a couple of schooners in him yet, mate?
No, well behaved, mate. We've got 4 weeks, so we never want to, as I said, the one game, one hot day doesn't make a summer, so we're not getting too far ahead.
But do you know what is the beautiful thing? Your last game is up here in Scotland. Guess who's going to be about?
No. Second last game's in Scotland.
Oh, why?
We're in Dublin to finish.
Oh, there, that one doesn't matter.
See, look, you just get excited if we're in Scotland.
Who we got? Who we got?
What, in the last week?
Who's right next to you? Go on.
Oh, no. He doesn't want to come on because he's got his hair in the towel, see?
Oi, tadina, kerkere.
Mother. He's in quiet time now. He doesn't want to show.
Oh, bless him.
He's getting ready just to get another man of the match on the weekend or something.
Well, speaking of man of the match, were you not, let's be honest, right? The saviour of Australian rugby, we've just talked about him, done all of that, man of the match, kind of ruined your own Stardust moments a little bit, did you think? You did on 51 minutes. I've rewatched them, Tom. You run the ball from your own 5 meters like you're not caring about anything, and no one's talking about that. Isn't that unfair, the world of rugby, mate?
Mate, in front of 83,000 at Twickenham, if we walk away with more points than them, honestly, I could really care less about who gets the, honestly it was. And look, I'm just getting everyone to be my best friend now because I say the right thing. But I was pumped. There could have been 5 blokes to get man of the match. And I say that seriously.
Even like Tate, like you said, the Bogan coming off the bench.
Yeah, like that real ugly looking Bogan could have got it in like 2 little stints, but he seriously changed the game. Like he came on, sparked in behind the line a couple of times, put Wilso over for his first test try. Obviously went off. Some guys sort of, if they lose their bit of their mojo or their rhythm, they struggle for a second stint. But he was really classy when he came on. He finished the game in a different way that he came on and impacted it the first time, which was really pleasing.
What were you thinking when is the instruction from Joe Schmidt to run it from wherever you feel there's an opportunity? Because a couple of your breaks were from pretty deep, and is that you personally just going, right, I've seen it, or is that an order from management, or is that just what you guys are trying to create as a team?
It's probably a cocktail of all that, what you just said there. Like a lot of preview goes into in particular that area of the game. Like I know two of them, one of them was off a sort of a pressured kick scenario from Noah. We looked at that. They shoot hard at an individual kicker. The English, they obviously have brought rapid line speed in all their games. So obviously looking for an opportunity in and around that. Coming up against type 5 players. So knowing those sort of things, tendencies when rolling into the game is something that Joe's he provides us the opportunity to look into preview wise, and he holds us really accountable with that too, which is, as I said, touched on one thing in and around detail and being prepared for the game, sort of knowing your opposition, which has been something that I feel like I've thrived off a little bit more than I have in the past. Probably a little bit more sort of narrow focus detail as opposed to just watching football, like watching things with a real purpose. And then the second one was sort of, it was pretty much a team one, like with ball spilled, one or two passes were thrown and everyone sort of bouncing to their own space. I know Wilso probably has heard one of his old coaches, Ren, say that before, finding your own space and whether you get a pass or, you might create space for one of your teammates. So just like little stuff that we've worked on really hard as a team. And it's something that I know that I can bring to the team. So, I look to do that when I can.
Was it weird when you were suddenly out, you're in the wide open acres of Twickenham? Did it feel quiet, or did it feel like you could hear thousands of Aussies shouting for you?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I sort of, when I've got the ball, don't hear a lot externally, but then I offloaded one to Noah and then started like squealing at him to kick it to the left corner. But then I could hear everything, like I could hear 80 odd going, or maybe not 80 odd, maybe like 5,000 Australians cheering for us and a whole heap of gasping. But genuinely the atmosphere was electric, hey? And I think Twickenham as a stadium do it really well too, like a genuine atmosphere. I know a lot of the fans, even people that I didn't know after the game, sort of commented on the ref's mic being really helpful at stages, like being able to hear rulings or whatever the ref was saying. So there's something that the game's done well. Should get a pat on the back for.
Yeah, that's whilst you're on it, because we're going to talk about it in a minute. And I know, listen, we're not going to keep you for much longer, mate, because we won't keep you from your dinner. But on the new rulings, what do you think about this? Because I think it's opened up the game a bit more. I think it made it a better game with the escorters, and they're not allowed to create that glove. I actually think for a back three player, I'd be like, oh, this is going to be a nightmare now. But it's opened up the game, hasn't it? It's made it a bit more loose.
I think you probably start to see a lot more spilled ball because there's big genuine contests in there. I know I spilled a lot because Freeman, and he was already good at it before the glove was removed, or the escort, whatever. But like just more like freedom or fluidity to the game. No more like sort of second rowers standing next to the nine, so the nine's sort of free game a little bit more. Yeah. I know there was 2 or 3 charge downs in our game. Just trying to remove like the stiffness from the game, maybe a little bit, like just, let it flow, see what happens. And then I think there was 39 minutes ball in play in our game. So, up from, the average test football game, which was good. So, and to be fair, I really like afternoon football. I don't know how everyone else reacted to it, but, I know that this scheduling wise, there was a game after us and whatever, but afternoon football for us was awesome. Hey, and it felt like a real good atmosphere for it.
Yeah, you talk about the flow, like definitely the game of rugby you boys are playing compared to what we saw in the Rugby Championship looks like it's starting to click. So, Len, just really quickly looking towards this week then, Wales, you got to be careful, because they're obviously wounded. They're on this losing streak. Everyone's going in on Gats this week going, oh, has he got much longer? But then you've got to be careful going to teams like that. Wales at the Principality. Everyone's looking from the outside going, right, Australia have clicked now. They're going to Wales. They've just lost against Fiji, but they're the dangerous ones, eh?
Absolutely. And again, I'll just pull out this little cliche book wherever I put it, but we're honestly looking no further. And, we've got all the reasons to sort of just turn off the engine and just, we've got an 8-day turnaround, which is awesome for us. They've got a 7-day turnaround, like little things that'll fall into our favour. But we've got to, because we're obviously reasonably familiar with them from the July series. But now the script has flipped. We're on their home soil. They're getting a couple back. And as you said, they're similar to us last week. People externally writing them off. So we're looking absolutely into none of that because how Test footy goes. And they've been really unlucky, like cards. And if you want to dive right into it, there's been some games that they've had zero luck. And they were unlucky to lose to us in July too. So it's not like we sort of breezed through them by any means. It's going to be a big contest. And every time I played at Principality, it always is. The last time we played them, we had to claw back like a silly lead in a real short space of time in 2022. So but as I said, there's a bunch of guys first time over here too, which are really looking forward to a huge stadium with a roof on it, afternoon footy. There's so many cool things to look forward to too.
Vodka Revs being one of them.
Oh,
yeah. The Ryan Wilson experience.
It is. It's the uncorporate package that you're going to be involved in is real.
I got to cover Scotland Portugal this week, otherwise I would have been down there.
Oh, absolutely! That's an epic match, that one. Particularly with all the other ones. Wait, just before Tommy goes, because he touched upon it right at the start, but I just want your exact feelings as you saw the last 4 or 5 passes before your boy Max goes into the corner.
Go on, say his second name, Mark, because Mark was debating his second name. He reckons
I
you should be
debating a second name.
Jorgensen. I'll try and get that to stick.
There's Danish roots, mate. Danish roots, I'm sure, right?
So
I'll see how he goes with that.
Mark reckons that he's calling himself by the wrong name because I said Jorgensen. Max.
I don't know if he said that, but I'll go along with it. He did say that. Yeah.
No, it's just this. Just change this narrative a little bit.
Yeah, I was saying that.
Oh, Geppetto over it.
He put a little bit of spice and everything nice.
Anyway, that's why he called him by his first name.
Fuck, you know me too well. I hate you, Wilson. Anyway, Tom, tell me your exact feelings. Apologise for Ryan, and now could you give me your exact feelings of those last moments before that winning try?
I appreciate the apology on behalf of Ryan. That makes me feel very nice. Mate, I was in the breakdown probably 2 phases prior, and then I was actually running. I was trying to find somewhere to jump in to get involved, but I was running on below empty. So I was sort of I should get to that, but I just can't quite get to that. And then I've seen sort of 2 passes. One was with the back to the defence, and then I saw Len on the left side of the field, and I thought, fuck, he's a chance, because I know how good he is with his right hand sort of fend and left hand flick, and lo and behold, he just added a no look, and I started thinking, gee, Max has actually got no one within Kui. And then he did the almost Superman dive into row 4 when he took off from 1.5 meters in the in goal. I was thinking we might actually not get him back to the floor before he puts this down. But
No.
Yeah, it's genuine. I was like, oh, he dived from pretty, you just put that down. And Joe might have said the same thing to him today too. So I think I was 3rd or 4th sort of in to celebrate. But oh, by God, it was good there. You could definitely, the atmosphere was pretty lit up at that stage.
Right.
And again, for someone that's gone through the ringer a little bit, especially for a young player too, I think that'll be something to really just pump the tires and get the best out of him, probably coming forward too, which is really pleasing for a friend and a teammate to see.
Yeah, the Yorgie.
Max Jorgensen, I'll let him know. I like that. I really like that. Because he's going to struggle to shake it, I reckon, if I say that on the bus.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, we made it. We've made his unique name. Tom, mate, thank you so much for your time. Good luck with the rest of the tour, and then we'll try and catch up with you over to see how the vibes are ahead of the Lions. And we're going to be down there, so we'll come and you can show us around, get some schooners in.
I'll give the Ryan Wilson experience. That'll be good.
Oh, God bless.
Oh, yes.
Very good.
Oh, yeah. Stop smiling. All right, thanks for having me.
Bloody legend. Thank you, mate.
All right, enjoy. Thanks very much. See you later.
All the best this weekend.
Thank you very much, man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Later.
Wow, amazing. A couple of guests there, Caleb Clarke and Tom Wright. Thank you to those 2 boys. Fellas, let's get our own takes a little bit. Max, start with you.
I have a question. Ryan, is this the beginning of the end of the power that is the Emerald Isle in rugby?
Oh, now I know why he wanted. Now I know why he wanted to cover it. You think this is it? You think Ireland are on the way out?
Are they waning as a power in rugby? Did they miss their chance? Did they miss their opportunity? Dun, dun, dun.
Was it Frawley who came on? He was the golden child, wasn't he? Coming through, and he was shocking. He dropped the high ball. He missed his kick. Did he miss his kick? Yeah, he missed his kick. Just, there wasn't much there, was there? I don't know, Max. That's a big old statement, isn't it? But I like it. I like it a lot. I like the question. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bat that question straight back to you. What do you think? Because you must have been thinking about it. You've obviously been thinking about it.
I was like, I don't know. They still looked like Ireland of old in lots of aspects of their game.
Slightly
clunky, but they're sort of missing a few boys, weren't they? It wasn't sort of, but potentially that could be the case. Also, New Zealand were going into that game with full sails, knowing they've already had these boy scalps in a game of much more severe gravity.
And also they had one under the belt from the week before, so they were sort of rolling into it. But listen, who have they got next? Who have Ireland got this week?
They are playing Argentina on Friday.
And Argentina.
That could be telling.
Argentina looked
all right.
Spancost Italy in Rome.
Blimey, hold on a minute, yeah. And remember what the Argies did to South Africa in the Rugby Championship? What they did to the All Blacks? On the road.
They beat all three, let's not forget. They are not.
That will be the telling, Max. That will be the telling. Let's wait to see what happens.
Let's let jury's out on that one.
But the All Blacks for me, like Caleb, what a man. And we've already touched on it before in this podcast. The romance, the beauty of the All Blacks is starting to come back. So I'm happy. 2 wins from 2 so far for the All Blacks. They might have scraped them, but they're wins and it's international rugby.
Exactly.
How good's the Haka? Oh, I just love it. I just genuinely, it's something like I'm like, Jax, get in here. Like, come and watch this. I like show the kids it. And it's just so
when my dad used to do that exact thing. Like, I have such a memory of it being like 6 years old and my brother and I being like forced just to watch like a bunch of guys jumping up and down. But
Frank's like walking around the house just giving it the old loving it. And then listen, I know I joke and the English and we're wondering where they're at, but they didn't have very happy fans out there at Twickenham. Not Twickenham, Alliance. I'm not going to boke. The Alliance, not very happy chappies outside there. They are calling for Borthwick's head. And then they're moaning again about bringing Ford on. Last week they moaned about bringing Ford on for Marcus Smith. Now he's left Marcus Smith.
No. When he stepped up, there was an audible
boo. My God,
how horrible is that?
That's shite. That is shite.
Shithouse.
English fans.
Mate, that is brutal.
Yeah.
But also it's cutting your nose to spite your face. And as far as all you're doing by booing is making him just nervous to be like, right?
And then they moan about it. I know. Boys, Max, I'm fucking glad you brought that up because, it's disgraceful, isn't it? Like, you back if you want to go there and back your team, you've got to back what the coach is doing. And at the moment, he hasn't got the backing of many fans, has he? But that's not play on. That is not play on. Marcus Smith, he was outstanding.
He really was.
The whole game. He really was. Next level, fantastic. Like Chandler Cunningham-South, I know I take the piss about his celebration right early doors, but that's a big old positive for English rugby. But we don't like that. That's not play on.
That's great.
Sorry?
But the Wallabies, eh? Oh my God. Angus Bell, take a bow. That was quite freakish what he was doing in the loose. He was putting more
immense, wasn't it?
In the musical chair.
How has he got any energy left to scrum?
Him and Bobby Valentini as well. Mate. Valentini was at the epicenter of everything that was good. I know Sue, the boy named Sue, was quite brilliant. He had some real star moments, quite game-breaking in terms of the visual aesthetic. But you felt like the commentary box sort of picked him early as man of the match. So anything he was going to do was going to be singled out as the second coming of Christ for Australia rugby. But I thought Valentini was the man of the match for Australia. Quite irresistible in the carry and just busy all day. But Harry Wilson also, he's sort of been in and out of that Aussie team, and it was good to see him. Obviously, he had to leave the field early, but he was on fire. I thought he was very busy. Mate, lots to like about Australia right now, which is so funny because obviously they were getting written off left, right, and rhubarb going towards the Lions, etc. Rugby Championship. So. Mate, it's good to see. It
has sparked a little bit of excitement again for that Lions tour, and that's what everyone wanted. We should have given Schmidt more time. I just hope they back it up this weekend, and not the weekend after, but the weekend after that, because we don't want them to do that well against Scotland. But there we go. Lions tour, back up and running, baby.
Yeah, but the pressure was so on in a weird way. I mean, because everything we spoke about, everything that was being written about in the media. Effectively, they are playing these next 3 games. So they've got four games, and then their next game is against the Lions. Which is kind of basically insane, right? In itself, is that's where they're going to be at. So at least they've pulled that out, and I think every non-England fan wanted the Wallabies, not just because it's England and anyone but the English type thing, but actually because for World Rugby it was so necessary. And you said it to Tom as well, didn't you, Ryan?
I bet you any money ticket sales went up. I bet you more flights got booked to Australia, more ticket sales went up, more Lions jerseys got bought. I guarantee you it has an effect on the game. So, yeah, it's good for World Rugby. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go down to. Let's go down.
We're not. This is not the moment where we're like, if you've got loads of money and you fancy paying for us to come out to Australia and party with you out there, do it. Send us an email. info@mallornothing.com.
Please.
Don't beg, Mark. Yeah, there it is. I said I wouldn't
Mark's
beg.
birthday.
It's my give me a birthday gift. Give me 10 grand and we'll be there. We'll get that with you.
Okay.
We need more than that. That's Ryan's flight. Let's move on to Wales versus Fiji. What a win for the Fiji boys. I was very conflicted. You had it the previous week, Ryan. I felt, obviously you're basically a Fijian soul, but we love those boys. But yeah, it is their first win in Cardiff, just their second in 15 attempts against the Welsh. Ryan, quick praise of your boys.
Oh, Dallingus. It was a thing of beauty. I'm so happy. I knew it was coming, but then I was working at the Scotland game and I kept having a glimpse over, kept jumping into the seedy little camper van that you have to sit in for TNT. It's quite weird. And just have a little look at the game, and I saw those 2 early yellow cards and then one go into red. Again, something that we've always been a fan of. These red cards, it almost helped the Scotland game as well. The red card wasn't anywhere near a red card for Scott Cummins. But the 20-minute red, it almost saved the game a little bit, made it better. But yeah, it was a thing of beauty. It was a thing of beauty. Tosso Viti, whether it was because Wales weren't that good, no, I don't think so, because they played some rugby to us over, Max.
Yeah. Well, it was like, I thought they marched him real well for most of the game, but there's only so long you can hold the irresistible force out for, isn't there?
What about that fend?
Yeah, that was...
Who was it on? Was it on Thomas Williams?
It was, yeah. I think, that's...
He's not the
first, nor will he be the last to be...
But you know what it is when you face someone like Tuasova? I've seen it firsthand over in Suva, where Damien Hoyland got absolutely crucified every single time he touched the ball. But it's like you worry about it. So you sort of half-arse it because you're like, oh no, what's he going to do? You start overthinking how to tackle Tuasova. And it happened when he rounded that player just before they go and score the other try. But mate, if you think about it, bad things are going to happen. And that's when you get thrown around like that, ragdolled by Tuasova. Big Joss. But mate, look at it. Like Bottier's not playing. There's still a few players to come back. Big Bill Matters obviously out at the moment.
But mate, we got to talk about Muntz.
Oh.
I think
especially when they needed him as well, when the team were down.
He was the big difference maker, I thought, for Fiji, actually. He was quite brilliant. Like that solo effort is, that try. Mate, that is wild. Incredible game.
The glue that holds them together, that's almost what Fiji always need. They need someone, and especially in such a crucial position, that sort of ties them together. He was good. He was very good. Well, we're here for another week, and that's only because of the support that we've been given by these guys. Wolf Craig Distiller's been with us all the way, and we've got our Wolf Craig moment of the week. Max Laheath, what is the Wolf Craig moment of the week?
Twickenham. It's 83 minutes on the clock. We're in the red. Australia's hopes of victory are all but destroyed until Lenny Gatau hits the overs out the back, wristy to Max Jorgensen flying down the wing, and the green and gold escape certain defeat with an incredible victory at Twickenham Stadium, aka the Alliance. Sorry.
There it is. Not sure you can call it a wristy, but we're going with it. Thank you very much once again to Wolf Craig. Max, where can they get themselves a lovely bottle of whiskey or gin?
wolfcraig.com.
Amen to that. So yeah, a beautiful thing to our Fijian brothers. I just wish I had the time. I'm going to go back and watch it now. But Nico was working on the TV.
Was he actually?
But I'm pretty sure they had him on S4C, which is Welsh. Which is fucking Welsh speaking. And when I told someone, they were like, no, it can't be because it's Welsh speaking. It's only like, and I was like, I'm telling you now, Nico told me that he's working on S4C. So he's probably gone out there and they've expected, he must have said yes. And they think, oh, maybe he can speak Welsh.
No, they can't.
He's been there for years.
No,
He's been there for a few years.
It must be subtitles. It must.
Well, to be fair, it sounds like he's speaking fucking Welsh half the time he speaks anyway. So it would have been all right. I've got to go and find some clips of it. I'm going to find it and put it in the group because, it would have been a thing of beauty. Can you imagine it? So, no, they would have had a good night afterwards, the Fijians. That's one place I would have wanted to be. But, yeah, there we go. Fiji.
Brian, speaking of the other side, and this is being half-Welsh, is actually very difficult, but here are some of the adjectives that I picked up from the match reports. Shoddy, ill-disciplined, naive, rudderless performance, lacking in thought, planning and execution, basically getting pretty crucified out there. Let's go to the main moment that seems to also have been generating headlines. That Sam Costello, the fly half, coming off the bench, instead of scrum half Ellis Bevan, and Warren Gatland saying probably the wrong player has gone on as a replacement. I mean, it pains me to say it. That's amateur hour, right? That's bad.
I don't know what to. Yeah, if he's coming out in the press saying that, I didn't like what's gone on there.
That's more the issue. I don't think it's the issue of it's happened because that probably has happened a lot of times.
Yeah,
but why bring it up in the press?
Why are you? Yeah,
very strange. Is it like a smoke screen? Is he trying to cover something up? Is he trying to get the sack? Like what is going on? What is going on there? Because it's a weird one. Like we've all seen it before, haven't we? You know, when the manager Max is shouting out, he's like, "Who do you want to put on?" And then the he's changing his mind. He's like, "No, don't put him on." And you're all like there, taking your jacket off, putting it back on. You're like, "Am I fucking going on or not?"
That does happen. It does happen. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much how I got my 50th cap. For Scotland, I was stuck at 49. I was like, "I'm going on, fucking whether anyone likes it or not." That's how I got my 50th for Scotland, but. It's it's a strange one. It's the way it's come out, Max. I don't know, just odd, very, very odd.
But yeah, where do Wales go? I think they'll be all right. I got quite a look at Tane Plumtree. Dowie Lake had a strong game. I think Jack Morgan's got a start. He came on and added some serious dynamism. So
Gatland's going to last to the end of the autumn, isn't he?
I think so.
He's got. You can't go chopping and changing now. You've got to stick with him right to the end of the autumns. But whether he'll be there after, we will find out, Mark. We will find out. Are you okay after your Welsh team lost?
That's pretty. Which wasn't that enjoyable. We started really well, but again, there's that weird thing when you're watching it against Fiji. You almost, I like watching Fiji do well. It's a very, very bizarre.
It's a tough household here as well. Frank's happy. Frank Willisoni is happy, so that's all that matters.
Frank Willisoni.
Did I ever show you my jersey? My shirt that Nico made, Max?
Yeah, no, I saw it. Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, I saw it. It was good.
Nico ruined it. Wait there, look at this.
Why has he done that?
You know when you say, "Oh, can you get the boys? Can you get the boys to sign it, please?" Because I wanted to get them to sign half, and so he's just like taking it in, but he's got a dodgy Sharpie, and it's just like they've literally gone. Oh, why would he get half the boys to write on the front and half the boys to write on the back? That's just a Fijian thing to do, isn't it? So he's absolutely butchered the shirt. I'm showing my Fijian side of the shirt, and it's not even like proper pen either. He's done it like with a biro. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to get a new one.
Right, let's move on to the final game. Your opportunity at history, Ryan. The double world champions. Let's start positive. 60 minutes. You went toe to toe with the champions of the world, the top ranked team in the world. But go on, Max.
Mate, I called it as being a bit of a. I thought they were going to get massacred. Right, I was wrong. It was a brilliant game. I was screaming at the TV for Scotland. I was loving it. I was very invested. I was like, why am I so invested in this?
I can't.
This is awesome. But ultimately, the muscle showed true, and Springboks persevered, and it became a more dominant scoreline than it probably actually portrayed. But mate, there's lots to be positive about in that.
There is, but then it's like that same old thing. Like, you know, the boys after us, I caught up with a couple of them upstairs, and they're like, you know, we can't just that was their opportunity. That was them there for the taking. Like, South Africa were rolling in with no game under their belt. Scotland obviously dusted off Fiji. There were moments of that Fijian game which weren't good enough, but they had a lot of good stuff. And you're going into it, and then you weather the storm of that 7-1 split. Mate, even like all the fans in Murrayfield like got up like almost cheering when he sends on the nuclear squad, not the bomb squad. I was like, oh, here we go. And they weathered it, and they did. They weathered it. Like, it was like, fucking hold on a minute. They're holding on to it, and they had opportunities.
That passage of play where Finn's throwing it through his legs, then Jordan's making a line break, then Hugh made it. I was just like, this is mental. They might do it.
Yeah.
They might do it.
So did I. I'm like, this is it. I'm going to throw Brian Habana over the edge of the balcony like, yeah, that's it. Stick that up your ass.
You know what's wild about South Africa now, though, is the scrum, right? The scrum has got to the point with them where they're so good at it, you don't even criticize the starting front row for the opposition as having a bad day. It's just like, this is the nature of it.
Yeah. The ref might as well be blindfolded for it.
This is right. And South African scrum goes over the other scrum at all times. Like, it is unbelievable how potent that eight is. They're like the Power Rangers, you know? They've got like really good, cool monsters and robots.
Yeah, they put it together.
When they combine themselves together,
it's morphin time.
It's morphin time, and they become this incredible product. Like Tommy du Toit, obviously, he's come in, and you're like, Frans Malherbe, surely, or Vinnie Koch, but they just bring in Tom du Toit, and he's as irresistible as Frans Malherbe is at tight end. It doesn't matter. You go in there, you've got Eben Etzebeth shoving your spine through your brain, and you've got R.G. Snyman coming on. And the whole thing, like Gerhard Steenkamp, the Bulls loose said, absolutely ruining blokes. But then before that, there's Oxen. It's just mental. But the whole thing's just this collaborative effort of, it's the sum of the parts. It's not just the outstanding attributes of the individuals. It's just wild to me how it just gets.
Give me your thoughts on this, because we love it, don't we? And I hope you're going to stick with me. 7-1 split. There's nothing in the rules saying you can't do it. It's a gamble. Rassie's taking a gamble.
Why do people get so...
It's cheating. You can't do it. Yeah. Shut up.
No. If they have the depth of the Mariana Trench to bring on these guys, then so be it. Let them come, and you'll have to deal with it.
Did you know that it was actually... So Rassie's got this idea. He knows his teams for every week, and it was almost a way of resting boys for next week. So he didn't want to empty too many boys. So it was almost forced upon him, what they're saying. But I love it. I think, find ways to do it. And I'm looking forward to the 8-0 split. I'm looking forward to the day where they don't even have a back in the bench, because they will do it. They're going to push it to the limit.
To be fair, you could probably put Quagga in the backs.
Yeah, that's it.
He'd do a job if he had to. He'd be all right out there.
Yeah.
But it's a gamble, though. As you said, it's a gamble, and they're willing to gamble. Look, Wales had it. They went for a 6-2, and they said, I think Gatland said he's not going to do it again. You know, you lose a winger within the first 5 minutes. Okay, how do you then respond? And
but the reason you won't see Gregor Townsend going 6-2 split, but he had to, because it's almost forced upon him. He knows what's coming, so he's like, right, we've got to go with this 6-2 split here, because you look at that Scotland bench compared to the South African bench, no disservice to some of the guys on there, but Elliot Miller-Mills, you're like, fucking hell, here we go, big fella. Like, this is going to be a long old evening if you're on early. They obviously got an injury. They got the red card to Scott Cummins, which again is something we just sort of. I don't know.
I don't. That doesn't look like a crock roll to me. It looks like he's messed up. He's messed up the clean out, and then he's landed in a bad position on the man.
And on top of it, Max, Hendricks is getting up underneath him, which rolls him onto his leg. If you look at it, we thought Rory Darge was going to get the yellow.
Yeah,
because Rory Darge was doing the same on the other side.
Rory Darge, because he was,
and so did Scott.
Scott
was like,
on the other side.
So it almost should have been 2 yellows. So then, but the ref couldn't have done that. He could have gone, 2 yellows, because you both crock rolled him and both landed on his knees. So I don't know. It was frustrating. It didn't change the game. It didn't have an effect on the game, I don't think. But it's just frustrating, really frustrating. But we touched on it. Some of the laws that they have been, you got to look after the players, and croc rolls are one of the worst. Fucking, I got one down at Bath, and it was one of the worst injuries I've had. But all the other laws, I think, the TMOs, the referees' announcements over the stadium, awesome. Like, everyone's loving it. It's so good. The speeding up of the kicks, we mentioned it last week. That's brilliant. The speeding up of the scrum set, and then this making it more of a contest in the air for the ball. All of these, I think, have been really positive. But Scotland, their opportunity. South Africa finally there for the taking. Frustrating, but they roll on. The Bokke, England this week.
That's relevant.
But mate, what happens? Like, England 3 from 3, losing 3 from 3, because they ain't going to win, are they, this weekend?
Do you get rid of Borthwick? And we're not trying to get rid of people's jobs. We don't want people to lose their jobs. But what's your hypotheticals?
Do they get rid of Borthwick? No, I don't think so. But I think England could win this game.
That's such an English take, isn't it? That is, it's always the win is always there.
Genuinely believe they can win this game.
What?
Mate, I think they've got enough to take them to the deep waters. I reckon they can do it.
This one's going up. This one's going up on the wall.
They will be within.
The Bokke back to number 1 though, boys. The world rankings, they're back to number 1 as well. Let's not forget that. Like, that's where they should be. Max, do we agree? They should be up there.
Yes, we can conclusively.
Just to keep all our commenters happy. We agree they should be up there.
No.
But Max thinks that England are going to beat them.
No, I just think they can.
That's what you just said. You literally
You were about
said
to
it.
give by how many points as well?
I didn't say that. I said they'll be within a score of South Africa is what I said.
Oh, I love you. Max, I love you. I love you. You're the reason this podcast stays alive, because you throw such mental things out there.
No, I think they can, genuinely.
Oh, go on then. Let's go. Predictions. Let's just do a quick one for fun. Hit me with your rhythm stick. Maxatron, England, South Africa. Go.
You've got to back it up now. You can't suddenly change your score.
I'm going to go like... I'm going to go like 20, 28, 23 to the Bokke.
Weird.
What?
I said.
Do you want us to re-edit what you said before?
We
could do that in post.
Hold on. You just said...
You said they might win. I didn't say they will win.
They have every chance.
That's what anyone can say about any match.
Okay, all right. All right, fine.
No,
28-23. I'll give it... No, it'll be 24-23 or something to England.
So, okay.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? I'm going to put it... Yeah, no, you know what? Yeah.
Back your boys.
Yeah, back the men.
Yeah, I had Scotland by 2. I'm going to Bokke. I was going to 28-21 to the Bokke.
Okay. 28-21. So you're...
Sorry?
You think it's going to be close as well?
I think it would be close-ish. I don't think they're going to go and ransack the place. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a bit of a test. Because I think England can stay in games. They just can't finish them off. So I almost think there could be a chance that England are ahead at like close to the end, 70-odd minute. I just want to see the nuclear squad come on at like 30 for a laugh, though. I want to just go 30 minutes. 30 minutes, just put all of them on, all 8. Even Grant Williams or whoever's on the bench, just fucking chuck the whole lot on.
Like,
go for it.
Can you imagine that? But that would be like the most like Coach Razzie thing, right? We're just going to do something completely different. Roll. You guys run like maniacs for 30 minutes.
Razzie Eisenhower.
Just reinventing rugby. What a legend. Okay, and because there is some other couple of really tasty games, I'm not going to say Scotland, Portugal. It could be a very fun game, though, to be fair. Hopefully a lot of running rugby. But France versus New Zealand in Paris. Thoughts? Because that's a tasty little treat of a tie.
I think the All Blacks are doing it. I think they're coming over and doing a clean sweep. So I'm going to go All Blacks by 5.
Who
All Blacks, France,
New Zealand.
at Stade de France.
I didn't get much from that Japan game. I can't tell what's going on there.
Mate, Eddie's fucked him, isn't he? He's fucked rugby. Eddie's fucked rugby.
Off it.
Why are you saying that?
Why did you just
What's he done to
say
Japan? Japan used to be good.
Oh, God.
But he made them good.
Yeah, but he's come back in.
Yeah, 10 years
Anyway,
ago.
what's mate?
No,
This
just
is
give
the
your
world's
predictions.
longest podcast.
This sucks. Come on.
Sorry.
Prediction.
My prediction.
Quick.
AB's by 5.
Same as me.
AB's by 5. Okay, and then Wales, Australia.
Aussies by 15.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
You seriously by 15?
Oh, go on.
Idiots.
Go and cry into your leaks.
Okay, by 10. Then.
Ireland versus Argentina.
Oh,
Were you about to?
yeah, I was about to, yeah, but after we chatted there, Max, you go first.
I think Ireland. Oh no, it's such a. Do you reckon Ireland by 5?
I see it as a draw, 20-all.
I hope Ireland surely will see them as a legitimate threat, won't they? There won't be any sort of.
They're not messing up there. Also, Andy Farrell is clearly I don't know. I just think he's clearly a legend as well. He doesn't mess those things up. But on top of that, he came out in the press conference afterwards and was like, they deserved to win. And I always think when a coach comes out, and that takes a lot of magnanimity, if you will. But he was brilliant. Right. Okay. I think that's probably enough with our.
I think so.
Yeah. But what a packed out show. Thank you guys so much, as always. Thank you to Caleb. Thank you to Tom. Thank you to Max and Ryan, and to you all for listening and watching. And we will have far more fun again next week with hopefully more stars and more chat. But thank you all. We love you.
More or nothing.
I don't know how to get off.
Fish eye.